Soda City Live. According to the CDC, colorectal cancer is the fourth most common cancer in men and women in the United States, as well as the fourth leading cause of cancer-related deaths. Colonoscopies are the more traditional methods of determining if CRC is present, but there is a less invasive testing option, and it's actually offered through any lab test now. Joining us today with more is the owner of the local office of this any lab test now, and we have John Rogers joining us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me today. I love being here.
We're so excited. We're so excited to have you and to learn more about this non-invasive method.
It's such a nice, easy test. You come into our lab, you check in, and about 5 minutes later, you're going the other way.
Oh, wow.
We draw one little tube of blood, 10 milliliters of blood. It does get sent off to another lab that's out west. And in about 10 days, you get the answer. And it looks for the same cancer proteins that all the other tests look for. But it'll find them in the blood quicker than you'd find it in any other part of the body. So it's a very good test. And just to be clear, every year there's 150,000 new cases of colorectal cancer. And if you say colon cancer or rectal cancer, it's all the CRC. We lump them all together in this business. And 50,000 people die every year. The beautiful thing about this, if you catch it in stage 1 or 2, the survival rate's about 90%. You wait till stage 3 or 4, it's 18%.
Oh, no.
And for men under age 50, it's the biggest killer in America. And for women, it's the second. Breast cancer is number 1. So, and it's so easy. And about 40% of the population is way behind. They don't get a colonoscopy. They don't get anything. So you can do a colonoscopy every 5 to 10 years as your doctor directs you. You can do the poop in a box and send that off. A lot of people find that distasteful. Or you can come in and we'll do this. And I think there's some other labs and other brands. And as far as any lab test goes, there's 5 other locations across the state. And we're wanting to make sure that people do this. I think March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. This is July. I want people to see it now. If we could save a few people, it's so worth it. And you know, you don't know when it sneaks up on you. Cancer doesn't take 5 or 10 years to grow. Cancer cells, by definition, are cells that are growing at a rapid rate. Most of the cells in our body replicate about every 28 days. Some slower, some quicker. But cancer cells are 3 to 4 days. So once it starts going, and once it gets a foothold, you have a hard time getting rid of it. So why not, in your off years, get the blood test?
And now let me ask you this. How often should you be tested for colorectal cancer?
Again, I'll leave that to your individual physician. They may, on a colonoscopy, say 5 years or 10 years, but I say split the difference with this in the in-between years. Maybe get this every 2 or 3 years, and then you should be covered pretty well. Most of the time, it can't get past phase 1 in that short a length of time, and you'd be in good shape with it then. And you know, we want to see people survive that. And we're even going to discount it this month. Normally this test is like $349, and we're going to drop it down to $299 for the rest of the month. I want people to come in, get it done. I've had it done and got a negative, which is positive.
Yes.
And that's what we want for everyone. But if it comes out other than negative, we get you to your gastroenterologist. Let them check you out. That's what they're there for. So we're just trying to do an early, good screening, kind of help people along. You know, in this day and age, medicine is different than it was when we were all kids, where you went to the doctor's office. I know, I was a kid long before you were a kid. The doctor's office was attached to the guy's house. You know, it hasn't been that way for years. And, you know, other than the people who go to the ER for everything, a lot of this, you got to take your life in your own hands.
Yeah.
And this is one way to do it. Whether it's this test, I mean, at any lab test now, we have 8,000 different medical tests. And we do drug and paternity testing too.
Okay.
But we especially like this stuff because we feel like it helps the community. And that's really what got me and my son Jake, the other owner, that's what got us into this, is wanting to help the community.
Now, let me ask you this before we wrap up here today. Do you all accept insurance, or do you have payment plans?
We would do a payment plan. If anyone can't afford it, we'll do a plan with them. But that's the other thing. Most of our prices are so low because we don't do insurance. It doesn't mean you can't file it with your insurance.
Oh, okay.
You know, but take the receipt from us and see what Blue Cross Blue Shield or whomever says. I just don't know, but that's part of our mission, is that we start off as a, you know, for people who have high deductible or have no insurance, we're also there for them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And before we wrap up again, where are you all located?
We're right across from the Columbiana Mall on Columbiana Drive, right in the shopping center with a bunch of other little strip center. I think Five Guys anchors one end of it. Good burgers.
Okay. You can't go get the test and then go get the burgers. Well, this
I think
one
you want to do
can.
them in the right order.
Yeah, we'll do it in the right order. Maybe get the burger afterwards.
Absolutely.
I love it. And before we wrap again, what other services? You said you do pregnancy tests, you do the colorectal test. What other tests do you all offer through
Well,
your lab?
we do the paternity test.
Paternity.
So let's say a fella says, I don't think I'm the daddy. That baby doesn't have my hair. Well, come on in. We'll check. And we can even do that while the woman's pregnant.
Oh, okay. The prenatal.
Prenatal, we do that. And one of our very early tests, we've only been open 2 years, was we had a woman who thought she was related to a guy. He was already dead. But we got with the coroner and got a sample of the blood smear they'd taken. And we did indeed find out she was his daughter.
Wow.
So we do that. Well, we do legal DNA, where you can get a name taken off or put on a birth certificate, or get out of paying child support, or force somebody to pay child support. You know, you are the dad. And then we do all the other normal stuff like CBCs and lipids and, you know, thyroid. If you're gaining weight and or your female hormones seem off, come on in and see us. And these ladies, the MAs we have, they draw blood all day long. They have it done before you even know it.
Awesome. Do you need a referral?
No.
No referrals for any of these labs?
And we even do STD testing.
Oh, wow. You just do it all.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't want to go to their own doctor for that. They're ashamed.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have doctors that they can call and get a prescription for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so no shame. It happens. Let's take care of it.
Absolutely. And do you have a website?
We do, and it's anylabtestnow.com.
Perfect, perfect. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, John, for joining us today and telling us about the amazing resources that you offer, especially the non-invasive colorectal screening.
Well, and that's the thing. It's a whole lot better than a procedure that you need a whole day to prep, and then even if they do you the next day in the morning, you're out for the count the rest of that day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a tough procedure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much again. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Soda City Live. Don't go away.